Hey, welcome back to Dad's Garage. Today I have got a new weed eater to share with you. So this is the Ego, and this is the top model. It's a 16-inch cut. It's got the Line IQ, which we'll talk about here in a minute. It has the automatic feed of the to fill your spool up. It also has the Line IQ is automatic to keep you feeded with line all the time, so you don't have to do any bumping on the ground. Reason we went this route is because of this right here. This is one of the reasons. So this is the Ego. You've seen it in some of my earlier videos. This, quite honestly, is the best lawnmower I have ever owned. And I have owned lawnmowers for over 40 years, and I've never had a lawnmower that is this good. The thing is so capable of doing any job that I've ever put in front of it. You don't have to change spark plugs, air filters. You don't have to pull it to start it. You don't have to do any of the tinkering with it that you have to do with a regular gas-powered mower. And I just absolutely adore this mower. We've been running it for over 5 years now, and we have not missed a beat with this thing. It is an incredible lawnmower. So I kind of wanted to go with something along the same line with the weed eater, because not that I'm a big electric, person by any means, with any kind of power equipment, vehicles, anything. But, I get tired of the tinkering with the, putting on the choke, trying to pull, just doing all this nonsense to get the weed eater started. And then once you get it started, yeah, it's great. But, and then every year, I like to maintain my equipment real well, as you all know. So I change the filters on it every year. I have to constantly be buying, the gas. The gallons are even $40 for the mix, the 40 to 1 or 50 to 1 for these things. And then changing air filters, all that stuff. These things just, you put the battery in it, you mow, or in this case, we hopefully weed eat, and then what you do is you go charge the battery, and next week when you're ready to use it again, you're ready to go. So that's kind of what I was looking for in a weed eater as well. These things come very highly rated, and so that's the route I was going to go this time. So out with the gas, in with the battery powered. So let's get to unboxing this thing, see what kind of assembly we have to do, and then we'll kind of take it from there. Thought I was going to have to cut some tape. All right, so here's the battery. It's just looks like a smaller version of what goes in that lawnmower. So it does look like there's a little assembly to it, but doesn't look like a whole lot. There's a battery charger for it. Okay, so it's got some of the 0.095 line, so that's good. That's one thing I wasn't sure of, is what size line this was capable of running. Now we know it's capable of at least 0.095. And this thing is super light too. This carbon fiber shaft on this thing makes this thing really, really light. The shaft does have a lifetime warranty on it. It looks like the assembly's pretty much bending it into place, and then putting one screw here in the handle. I've seen some videos where they actually jump on this shaft. It's so strong. I don't know if that's covered under the lifetime warranty, but it is a lifetime warranty shaft, it says. Okay, so this shaft is telescopic also. It's very simple. Just pop the little clip, and then this thing will move in and out. So I don't know if this battery has any charge in it at all, but we're fixing to find out. So even with the battery on it, it's not super heavy, and the balance is really pretty good. And the handle even looks pretty simple to install here. All right, so interesting thing happened here. So I don't know if you see, but right over there, there's a box. Over here is the box. So here's what happened. We've got a second one of these now. The reason is, I don't know if y'all heard or not. I heard it, I thought it was just clicking in place, but when I hit this latch, I heard a pop. I thought it was just a latch. Well, what I found out is, look how loose the handle is. It actually broke right across here. Let's see if we can see this huge crack. This thing completely broke off. So I called Ego, spoke with them, and they said they would send me a part right out, a whole new handle, this piece here. They would send it out. They said it must have just been a manufacturing defect that would have broken. I've looked at a lot of reviews on these. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen a negative comment really about them. So it's kind of interesting. The other thing that happened, while I was on the phone with Ego, I noticed the battery charger continued to flash red. Well, while I was on the phone with them, I was looking at it because I was like, gosh, why is it still? It should be like, what does this mean? Is it just charging? And it says, if it's flashing, that the battery cannot be charged. So as I was speaking with the lady on the phone, the tech support lady, she ran me through some diagnostics on the battery and charger. What we discovered is, it's a defective battery. So very interesting turn of events. She said she will send that out as well, but she said, where did you buy it? And I said, I got it on Amazon. The only reason that I didn't get it at Lowe's or somewhere is because just convenience. They deliver it to me. I don't have to, go up there, grab it, whatever. But she said, I just asked her, I said, well, I don't know that I want to wait long enough to get the parts in here for it because I need to use this thing like tomorrow. And I said, would there be a problem just returning it to Amazon? She said, no, not at all. And she said, if I were you, that's what I would do. Return it to Amazon, go grab one at Lowe's, get on the road. So now we're back to unboxing a second one and assembling it. This one we're gonna put back in the box, ship it back to Amazon. I've already done the return information for that. No shipping, UPS is gonna come get it. So pretty simple deal there, other than we've gotta disassemble everything and repack it. So anyway, so we're gonna get to doing all that, charging the battery out of the hopefully good one, and then we'll come back to you tomorrow when we got a full battery, and we will get this thing out there and start chopping some stuff down and see how well it works. So I think it's just, we just got a fluky situation, really. I really believe in their product. Like I said, the Ego mower, it's the best lawnmower I've ever had, just hands down. So I'm just gonna chalk it up as a fluky thing. So anyway, we're gonna get after this. We'll get back to you tomorrow once it's all charged up, provided it does charge, and we'll get after it. All right, here we go. Sounds pretty speedy. Let's go hit some heavy stuff over here. We got some heavy stuff in the field over here. We're going to check it out. Pretty thick stuff down there that it just took right down. Look at that. Look at that. How thick that stuff is. I have never tried to do anything like this with my regular weed eater or my gas-powered weed eater, but although it was not a commercial model Echo, it was nevertheless an Echo, and it didn't have this kind of power. So I am super, super impressed with this Ego. So, so far it seems to be auto-feeding just fine, because I've had, of course you don't bump this head at all, but through this stuff I would have certainly, broken it completely off by now and had to, fed it somehow. So it seems to be doing fantastic. So there's a slight lag when you hit the trigger, but not much. About, seems like just maybe a half a second, that's it. So anyway, so far, this thing's getting some big time thumbs up. Okay, so we're on a huge corner lot. Look at all this edging that has to be done. This thing is absolute nightmare with all this sidewalk, both sides, everything. It is absolutely a nightmare. So on one charge, we did all of this, plus the back, plus of course our little demonstration over here, all on one charge, and we still had, it appears to be 20% of the battery remaining. As we come over here and look at the battery, you can see there's 5 sections, there's 1 left, so about 20% remaining. So we're gonna slide this baby right back on our charger. And she is back to charging. So another thing I can say is about the auto feed. So the auto feed is interesting. I never one time ended up with like cutting it off completely on the end or anything. It continued with about this much on each side of the head, and then it would all of a sudden feed, and it would feel like it'd feed 2 to 3 inches at one time. So it wasn't a continual process. That's kind of what I was hoping it would do, but all of a sudden it just jumps 2 to 3 inches on each side, which is, you know, it's okay, but if you're trimming, all of a sudden, you know, you're trimming with string this long and then you go to this long, you know, you're not quite ready for that because you don't know that it's happening, and all of a sudden it just happens. So that's kind of interesting. But I didn't get to the point where we used enough of the line that I'm, you know, gonna unload it, you know, and refeed it. So I'm not gonna get to show you that, but it's real simple. You just feed it in one hole, it comes out the other, and hit the feed until it's the right length. So it's pretty much that simple. No manual winding or anything like that. So it's pretty cool. So is this the best weed eater that I've ever owned? Yes, it definitely is the best weed eater that I've ever owned. There's no gas one that I have ever had. Now, granted, again, I'm not a professional lawn guy. If you look at my lawn, you can tell that real easily. And I'm just not a professional lawn guy. So maybe if you get some professional equipment, maybe the gas is better. I don't know. But all I know is, you know, even the big name brand stuff, the Echoes and the Steels that I've had before, that are residential grade, this Ego is more powerful. It was cutting through some stuff over there. I mean, I don't know if Brandon got it on film or not, but I mean, it's cutting through some stuff like this over there. It was just, it only bogged down a couple of times. That's when I was going through some stuff that was over 2 foot tall, and it was getting wound around it. But you could just kind of lift it up and sling it off, and it just kept going. So this thing is awesome. Despite the initial hiccups of the first one that we had, which is really weird still, this thing is awesome, and I would 100% at this point buy another one. And just like the Ego lawnmower is the best push / self-propelled lawnmower that I've ever owned. I mean, I'm one day into it, but so far, judging based on that one day, it's the best that I've ever owned. So see how it does on the long term. But that's it for this one. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you next time right here on Dad's Garage.